What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to talk about how to optimize your martial arts school's website to generate you maximum results. So before I get into it, I just want to talk a little bit more about different types of websites in our industry. So the common route that most martial arts schools go down when starting to focus on their marketing is they sign up with one of the template website services in our industry. Now, this video is not to shit on anyone. Those websites perform well for a lot of martial arts schools. I'm just going to give you an alternative option and give you my thought process behind it. So I'll give you an example. One of the big companies in our industry, Spark, has their own website service called Spark Ignite. And it's a pretty decent website, and I've heard of some martial arts schools, even our own clients, getting great results from it. But the problem with using one of these template website services is that you have nothing that differentiates you from your competitors. I have one client in particular who uses a Spark Ignite website service, and there is a martial arts school less than a mile away from them who has the exact same website. Now think about that. If one of your main competitors a mile away from you has the exact same website as you, and someone is considering what martial arts school to sign up with, why would they choose them over you, or vice versa? There's nothing from a digital presence that really differentiates you from them. So I'm a big advocate of going down the custom website route. This is what I've done for my own parents' martial arts school, Champs Academy, champsacademy.ca if you guys want to check it out. And through my parents' website that I created myself from scratch, they generate anywhere from 30 to 50 leads per month. And in the last 6 months alone, they've generated over $10,000 per month of new income just from their website. So today I'm going to break down how I went about creating that website for them and how to really maximize your website's results. So the first step when creating your website is it always starts with strategy. Not to go off on a tangent here, but before I got into Dojo Launch, I had another marketing agency where I work with lots of different niches. So I would do websites for real estate, for restaurants, for larger corporations, tech companies and AI companies. And our websites at the time costed anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000. So obviously in our industry, it's not realistic for most martial arts schools to spend that money, but I'm going to take you through the exact same framework that I applied to these $10,000 to $30,000 websites that you can apply to your website to give you similar results. So step number one is focus on the strategy. The strategy is where you think about what is the main objective of your website. Now, in our industry, the main objective of your website should be to give your brand a great representation of how you want to be seen. It should be to differentiate you from all of your competitors and highlight your unique selling points. And most importantly, it should be to really maximize the amount of leads and overall students you're generating on a monthly basis. Now, other people might have different objectives from their website. Some people might want a login area for their members where they can nurture their current members with special content. Some people might want to sell products on their website, like an e-commerce. But at a very bare minimum, your website's main objective should be to generate you a consistent flow of leads and new students signing up on a monthly basis. The next step with your website is called the sitemap. And that's basically thinking about what are all the pages you need on your site. So some essentials are obviously you need a homepage. You need a programs page, and you probably want a drop down where people can select the specific program and learn more about it. You're going to want an About Us page where people can learn more about your martial arts school story and how it came to be, what your mission, vision, values are. You want a page that has your schedule, so any of your members with quick and easy access can see your current class schedule. You want a contact us page where people can sign up to contact you and to schedule their first trial class. So before you get into what the pages are going to look like, first you have to think about what are all the pages on the site going to be. Once you know what pages you're going to have on your website, the next step in your website process is called the content architecture or the wireframes. So now what you're going to start to do is look at on a specific page, let's say for example the home page, what is the content layout going to be on that home page? Now, a pro tip here, think about your ideal member and think about how to help them reach their goals in as few steps as possible. A common mistake a lot of businesses make is they make websites for themselves to kind of boost up their ego. But you want to put yourself aside and be empathetic. Put yourself in your target customer's shoes and think about what keeps them up late at night. Think about their pain points. Think about what they're looking to get out of martial arts. And you want to talk to that with the messaging and content on your website. So for example, with the homepage, let's say the first section is what they call the hero section. That's the first section people land on. And you want to have your headline, you want to have subtext that clearly talks about, okay, you are a martial arts school in this city that offers these services to these people. You might even want some links to some of your social media pages, and then you want a button with your call to action, book a free trial now. Now the next section could be your programs. So for quick and easy access, once people scroll below the fold, they can see all the programs you offer. Then you could have a section talking about your martial arts school and your story. Then you could have a section with some testimonials. Then you can have a section called How It Works, where it breaks down the 3 steps for people to sign up. Opt in, book your first class, come in and see how you like it. Then you could have a section with some of the benefits of martial arts, learn focus, respect, confidence, self-defense, etc., etc. Then near the bottom of the page, you can have another call to action section reminding people, hey, get started now, click this link to schedule your free trial before spots fill up. And then also on the home page, you can have a section with all of your latest content. So your blogs or your YouTube videos, you can showcase that for returning website visitors so they can see your website is constantly being updated and it gives them a reason to come back. So you want to do this with all of the pages on your website. You want to architect the content in a way where it addresses your ideal customer's pain points, where it talks about the benefits of martial arts and shows them the value in your martial arts school, where it talks about why you are different from anyone else in their area and why they should sign up on your martial arts school. And then it breaks down the steps on how to get started. In your specific program pages, you can even have frequently asked questions sections. This is going to be one of the most important steps in your entire website process to really maximize your results. So spend as much time as you need here. Look at other people's websites for examples and really take the time to construct a content architecture that's going to help get you the most leads possible. The next step is to focus on your design. So this is the images and videos that's going to be on your site. This is your brand colors. This is the fonts you're going to use. This is the animations that's going to happen on your site. So you really want to make sure that your design is consistent with your branding. So you're using your logo and all the same colors as your brand kit throughout your website. And then you also want to make sure you have very high quality photos and videos that give a good representation of your martial arts school. After the design, next thing you want to focus on is the copy. So this is a text that people will be reading throughout the site. Now, the copy is one of the most important pieces of your site next to the content architecture that will really improve your sign-up rates. So like I mentioned before, make sure the messaging is talking right to your ideal customer and is addressing their pain points and going over all these things that they need to hear in order to make them feel more open to signing up. Now, one quick tip with the copy is focus more on the headlines versus the subtext and paragraphs. Most people are not going to read all of the text blurbs on your website, but what they will read or skim while scrolling through your site is the headlines. So make sure the headlines are very strong and are talking to those things to really help improve those sign-up rates. As far as the subtext goes, try to get your point across with as few words as possible. So you want any of the paragraphs in your sections to be no more than, I would say, 3 to 4 sentences. If you go beyond that, majority of people just don't have the attention span to read it. Next up is going to be the testing. Once you have all the pages on your website, once you have the content built out for the pages, once the design is done for all those pages and the copy is added, you want to do rigorous testing with your site. Not only you, but have lots of other people test out your site on different devices, on different browsers, to make sure that your website is optimized for all platforms. Nowadays, over 74% of your website visitors are going to come from mobile. So you want to most importantly make sure that your website is structured for a mobile device and looks just as clean. And you want to check everything. Check the buttons, check the links, check the footer, check the pages, try signing up and see how the flow is. You want to test everything on your website so that when you go live, you can make sure that there's no bugs for the general public. Now, the last step before you launch your website is to optimize the SEO on the back end. So this includes the meta titles. This is the titles that'll show up on Google when people look for your website. So for example, your homepage should say, your martial arts school's name, and you can even have a call to action like Champs Academy, schedule your free trial now, and that'll improve your click-through ratios. Your meta descriptions is what shows up underneath the title on Google when your website shows up, so you can have more text. Keep it short and simple, but just talking about your martial arts school and having a call to action. You want to optimize the images on your site to reduce the sizes so that you have a faster loading time. Other things is like making sure that your website is set up with Google's platforms. So you want to make sure you connect it to Google Search Console. You want to make sure that you install Google Analytics on your website, and you want to make sure that you have your domain connected to your website. And when you do all of these things, you're setting your website up for success to have maximum visibility with Google. So just to recap, I'm not saying template websites are bad, but if you want to set up your business for success in the long run, and if you want to differentiate yourself from most martial arts schools in our industry, my recommendation is to go down the custom website route and create something that's unique to your brand. And I promise you, the results will be phenomenal if you follow these steps.